Better late than never, Minties. Join me today as I look at my haul for the month of February. So please stay tuned. Okay, so let's get started. One of the manga that I forgot I kickstarted, and for some reason my credit card got canceled, so I ended up having to order it from the Aka website, I believe is where I got it. But anyway, this is Kimagure Orange Road. It is a 6-volume omnibus, or at least that's the way it was released here in America. This has never been released in America before, so they're these huge, thick volumes, and there's a total of 6 of them. And I've never read them because I had just watched the anime. So it's pretty much a love triangle with some psychic elements thrown in. So it's a little bit of supernatural stuff in here. Basically, the art style looks like that of the 80s, that what you're probably used to seeing in a manga from the 80s. But I was a big fan of the anime, including the movies and the OAVs, so I wonder how different the manga is, never having read it. So I'm very excited to go and read this. Probably when I take a break from the channel again, I'll be reading all of this because I cannot wait to read this. Next up, I got Uncanny XMen by Kieran Gillen, the complete collection, volume 1. So this collects a lot of his earlier stuff, including the Sword miniseries with Agent Brand, this lady right here. And actually, that's what kicks it off. Death's Head's up there, Lockheed, Beast. I remember a lot of people having an issue with the way that Beast looked because he looked like a horse face instead of the cat face that we were used to. Then he takes over Uncanny XMen, where the title is eventually canceled and renumbered. So a lot of artwork here by Terry Dodson. That's actually Clay Mann right there. And Greg Land. And I went on an epic little spree. I got the Punisher. This is Circle of Blood. Collecting a lot of the earlier Punisher stuff. This is volume 2 in the chronological Epic Collection order. So this has some of his earlier appearances from the 80s. A lot of stuff here by Mike Zeck, Mike Barron, writing most of it. And then moving on to his ongoing series here. Then he got some artwork back here, and this is what I wanted to point out, by the amazing Whilce Portacio, who of course went and took over Uncanny XMen. So it's nice to go and have these epics available because we don't have an omnibus of any of this series, of his ongoing series. We just have like an omnibus of, what was it called? Back to the War, which collects his earlier appearances throughout Marvel Comics and includes his miniseries. But I like a lot of these stories because these are the stories that I grew up reading. So you even have Scott Williams inking Whilce Portacio's artwork. Here's the famous fight with Daredevil in the crossover event. Before we look at this book, I want to give a proper shout out to James Barrera, who was able to find me this epic collection, A Separate Reality, and it's part of the Doctor Strange epic collection here. So I ended up passing up on the Omnis, so I decided to collect Doctor Strange in epic format, and this one went out of print. I know that volume 1 is also out of print, the Mystic, or Master of the Mystic Arts, rather. That one is also out of print, but then this one went out of print. And that's the thing with epics. Sometimes, eventually they go out of print, and you don't know which ones Marvel will reprint, even though they have stated that all of number 1s are going to be evergreen. But they can't reprint them all at the same time. There has to be some time in between a couple. So they're doing a couple a month. And I've seen them reprint other things, too, like I think Spider-Man Volume 4 or something like that, and Iron Man, the very first epic, which wasn't a Volume 1. I also ended up getting Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. This is Volume 13, by the way. A Separate Reality was Volume 3. So there's quite a bit of gap in between here, and there's not that many Doctor Strange epic collections. As a matter of fact, I think there's only 4. I was hoping more would be released at the end of the year, but... So here we have Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. This was his revamped, I guess, if you will, series from the mid-90s. So there's a lot of stuff in here written by J.M. DeMatteis and drawn by Mark Buckingham. Of course, Mark Buckingham went on to draw Fables. There's also stuff in here by Warren Ellis and Todd DeZago. This is Volume 13. It was called the Marvel Edge line. That's what they named it. Now, I've done an overview of the Wonder Woman by Gail Simone on the channel, and I used Venom on how to open an omnibus properly video. So yeah, this is Venom Volume 2, or Venomnibus really, because we have a third one coming out this year. Before I go any further, big shout out to my buddy Matthew Mangi, and I'm sure I'm butchering your last name, but hey, you wouldn't expect anything less from the Uncanny Omar. So thank you so much. He knows that I have a birthday coming up on March 14th, and sent me this awesome drawing of what my wife likes to call a pretty boy Wolverine. So thank you so much. So through the Omnibus Collectors page on Facebook, I ended up getting the Deadpool set of mini buses. Or mini boo, I guess, since it's Marvel. So let's take a look at one of them. So we'll look at Volume 1 right here. There's different writers and different artists. So a lot of these collect the different mini-series that Deadpool was featured on. He had his own ongoing series, but every month there was a Deadpool mini-series going on. So things like Deadpool Pulp, Deadpool Wade Wilson's War, Deadpool Suicide Kings. There's things like the annuals in there, Mrs. Deadpool and the Howling Commandos, Deadpool versus Thanos, Deadpool and Cable Split Second, which was not, even though it's the team that did the Cable and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Cable Omnibus, Fabian Nicieza and Riley Brown, it's not collected in that omnibus. Deadpool versus Gambit, and just storylines like that. And honestly, these I got a really good deal on these, and even though they were used, they haven't been opened. So let's keep going. From that very same group, I ended up getting a copy of the Puma Blues. Now, I have no idea what this is about. Based on the cover, I thought that this was a manga. I've seen it around from time to time. As a matter of fact, I think it's still in print. There's a forward here by the creator of Cerebus, Dave Sim, and here's the independent type of artwork that is found through here. It's a little text heavy, it looks like. The binding, I am disappointed, is glued binding, so it's hard to stay open. One of the things that I do know about the book is that this collection is the complete saga in one volume, and it adds 40 extra pages. Like it gives the stories an ending. That's all I know about this. No idea. I assume a Puma. Okay, cool. I assumed a Puma would appear in the pages here because all I saw was just city folk. Yeah, but this is Puma Blues. Really dig that detailed artwork, though. So I've been wanting to read this for a while. Also ended up with a set of the Steve Richmond volumes 1 and 2. And this is a humorous take. I think it started as a webcomic. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's a really funny book. I ended up really liking the volume that I read, which is this one here. It's a funny take on all these just pop culture icons. And I haven't read volume 2 yet. There was a Kickstarter that had, I think, his signature, the creator's signature on here. But if you enjoy pop culture, horror movies, Dungeons and Dragons, and things like that, that's what this is like, or that's what it reads like. As a matter of fact, I think there's an intro here from Dracula in one of these books. Nope, not this one. This is Steve Richmond right there. Maybe it's in volume 2. I could have sworn at one of these. I think I started to read volume 2 and then I got distracted by... okay, Dracula. Not distracted, but I think I had to read something for old reader, new reader, so I set them aside. So I got these earlier in the month. I found them at Half Price Books, and I was like, alright, this is something I've always wanted to check out, and I never got a chance to read. So, yes, fans of anime and video games, just like I said, pop culture in general will really like this series here. Now, I haven't read any of that, so I'm not flipped through there too much. Gotta get my duck kick in, so I ended up getting Donald Duck Christmas in Duckburg, collecting more of the Carl Barks stuff. By the way, huge shout out to everyone on Patreon that keeps voting for my comprehensive duck reading order. I think I put it up every month, but every month it gets outvoted. Who knows? I may, if I have time, that's the issue, right, with making comprehensive reading orders. If I have time, I promise I will do 2 reading orders, including the comprehensive duck order. So this is the Carl Barks era, and I'm a big fan of these Fantagraphic books. I don't have the box sets of the Carl Barks stuff, but I do have all the box sets of the Don Rosa era. And something that I've already read, but I wanted to own because I borrowed Maddie's books, is Joshua Williamson's and Mike Henderson's Nailbiter. This is volume 3, and it is the finale of that series. We did an old reader, new reader sometime in October. I owned volumes 1 and 2, and she let me borrow volume 3, and I was like, you know, I like the series enough to go back and reread it again, and give it another shot. And we do know that it is coming back, so this is volume 3, the finale. And these are the hardcovers. This is called the Murder Edition. The same guy that sold me the Deadpool books, including the Deadpool and Company Omnibus, here in a second, also ended up getting the Mark Waid and Chris Samney Daredevil Volume 1. This was completely pure pressure. A lot of you guys were like, Omar, you have the OHCs. You gotta get the Omnibus. Damn it. I gave in. I caved in, and I bought it. So, there you go. Now I gotta find Volume 2. Oh, I forgot it has this amazing crossover with Mark Waid's Punisher. And this artwork here. Oh, this guy right here. Chichetto, I think? Man, he does not get enough praise. Yeah, this dude's artwork. I don't know what he's working on these days. But I thought, I could have sworn, I was like, this guy's going to be huge. They are going to put him on an X-Men book or something. But I don't know what he's on these days. But his art is stellar. But anyway, this is Volume 1. Now I need to find that Marvel Knights Omnibus and Daredevil Volume 2. Alright, now this is something I've been sitting on the fence on for so long. But I decided to get it. This is another one of those just mini-series. And actually it has like Marvel Zombies in here, which is one of my favorite Marvel Zombies, because it's written by Fred Van Lente. Yeah, Marvel Zombies 4, that's what it is. But it also has all these little miniseries that came out. And Deadpool at the time, I think I was just burnt out on too much Deadpool, mainly because I really didn't enjoy Daniel Way's run. So I actually haven't read a lot of these little minis that are collected in here or in the minibus. Oh wait, this is the Rob Liefeld series here. Yeah, the Deadpool Corpse. But it also has the Deadpool Merc with the Mouth series in there. But yeah, I've not read a lot of this stuff, so it'll be my first time diving in. I may, as I mentioned earlier, I may take a break from the channel here in about a month, like a week off, just to catch up on my reading of things that I want to read and not just for the channel. But who the hell am I kidding? Last time I tried to take a week off, I still made enough videos to put out every day. That's because I love y'all. And I know I get much love back, so thank you all. And please don't forget to hit that like button. I am reminding you right before the end of the episode. Is that Frankencastle? Yeah, it is. Alright, didn't know that made an appearance in here. So, this is a huge book. And yeah, I'm sure I'll do a Deadpool comprehensive reading order sometime soon. And I also caved in with Superman, the Exile and Other Stories Omnibus. Mainly because I got excited over the Man of Steel Omnibus, and then they decided to cancel it and make it an oversized hardcover. Because I really thought, I'm like, well, maybe DC actually has plans to release all of the post-crisis Superman in omnibus format. Well, I have these custom bound. I know if you've seen my videos, you know what I'm talking about. I have them all custom bound leading up to the death and return of Superman. Which reminds me, if they have remapped everything, then I have to go get the new printing of Death and Return of Superman, because I'm a freaking idiot and completist, and I guess I gotta have that too, and I know that's a well right now, so wish me luck. I may be doing another hunting video sometime soon. So even though John Byrne doesn't grace us with his name on this book, you still have a lot of great talent in here. You've got Jerry Ordway, you've got Roger Stern, you've got Dan Jurgens, Kerry Gamble, you've got Tom Grumet, Art Thibert doing a lot of the inks. So there's a lot of talent that went into this book. And a lot of those talents went on to write the death of Superman. So we'll need another book in between this and the Death and Return of Superman, if you're wondering. And I promise one day I will do a Superman reading order. It's just a matter of how in the hell am I going to do that when all of my books are custom bound. But I will find a way, I promise. Now, if you're interested in any of these books, you can purchase them from our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com.
your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was my haul for the month of February. I'd love to know what you all picked up last month. I know it's a little bit late, but I had to wait on some shipments. There were a lot of delays by UPS and the Postal Service, at least around this area, because of everything going on. So, yeah, let me know what you all picked up for the month of February, what you're looking forward to in the month of March. We're going to be found on Redbubble and Patreon. And our Patreon poll is about to go up for Old Reader, New Reader, and what the reading order is going to be for the month of April. Speaking of reading order, I'll be working on that, and the patrons have chosen Flash for the month of March, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. If you have any questions about any of these books, let me know in those comments down below. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.